Hey, what's going on, everybody? I am Pruitt. This is Everyday People Doing Everyday Shit, our little random off-the-wall podcast we do each and every week here, streaming live on YouTube or whatever podcast app you enjoy. Thank you for being here. Joined by the one and only, the most popularist, Miss Queen Pruitt, Phoebe Pruitt, sitting right over there. How do you be, dear?
I'm swell.
Good. Good to hear.
How you be?
I'm actually all right. I was pretty excited to get to record this week because of the stuff that we talked about on the previous episode. So we'll do a little bit of feedback content today and reflecting back on last week's show, episode 66. So if you haven't listened to that, go back and listen and it'll make some sense, the stuff that we're going to talk about. But I didn't want to, go without talking about this stuff because, yeah, it's pretty interesting stuff, as well as catch us up on things that's been going on with us and our regular day-to-day ins and outs, if you will. That's what we do here each and every week. Everybody that's watching live right now on YouTube, please do me a favor and go ahead and hit the subscribe button right now, as well as hitting the like button on the screen so everybody can get the signal. And if you want, you can also feel free to share the stream out to people watching right now too. So appreciate y'all doing that, because as I said previously,
the share button looks like.
That's a share button. Interesting. Nice work. As I've said previously, I'd love to have this stuff sponsored, and we can't get sponsors if we don't have enough downloads and views and all of that good stuff, because that's just how that works. All right, so all of that stuff is out of the way. Let's see. Let's first get into, all right, what have you been doing? Let's get into that. What do you got going on this week? Because I've got quite a bit, and I catch her right in the middle of the sip of the whiskey. But what do you got going on? What's been going on with you? Because we were questioning if we could even record at this particular time because of our schedules, if you will. So.
Only because I had an appointment, in Vallejo. This week was. You
mean the place where there ain't no Chick-fil-A?
Not that area. Not that area. A different area of Vallejo in the hills. My hair is still, it's crazy how I'm going to a different loctician that started my locks. And that lady was in the hills of Hayward.
Yeah.
Really nice. Really, really, really nice.
Yeah, Hayward's quite nice.
Same thing with this new loctician. She's in Vallejo in the hills. I mean, they're doing pretty good, I guess. Anybody living in the hills in the state of California, if you in the hills somewhere, any hills,
you doing
it ain't
right.
just the Beverly. Any hills.
That's what's up.
So, I took some potheads over there so she let me put them in her shop, because she has like a whole little area where she does her reties and installations and what have you, and she's got other stuff in there, so she's allowing me to place however many I want to place there. I put the sticker on there how much they cost. I've sold a couple over there already, so yeah, it's cool. So this time I took more than 3, because I had already built a whole store. I didn't realize Etsy was so tedious. It's like, it's going to take me forever to open this store. But
yeah, I tried to tell you, Etsy is not OfferUp.
No, it's not. There's a reason why you do what it is. But it will open eventually. And it's
the same with eBay, and it's the same with Amazon. You can't just willy-nilly slap a picture up and say, hey, this is for sale. It's not OfferUp and it's not Craigslist. Yeah. Big difference.
And I got to get in contact with somebody at Etsy, because my name is taken, but it's taken by me. So I don't know how I'm going to get back into my account.
So forgot password didn't work, huh?
I don't know.
Did you try forgot password?
I probably did and changed it, but it didn't come back up to that.
But what I'm saying, doing forgot password, even if you forgot your new password, you can still do forgot password, right?
I know, but I didn't get back into my Etsy, my Plantastic Pot.
Oh boy.
Wait a minute. I got to do some more research.
Jeez.
I'm thinking about it now.
Shout out to the live chat people showing up. Thank y'all for being here. We got Tanya here. We got Ozone Nightmare here. And we got Clarence Brown here. Ozone says, unless it's something standard like prints or arts or shirts, it's a project to get a store up and running. Yeah, it is. It is. Tanya says eBay used to be great to sell on, but now it's a PETA, also known as a pain in the ass.
Yes, I'm glad you did that because I didn't know what that was, but I would have figured it out a little bit. Thank you for being here, everybody. Y'all make me so happy. Clarence, welcome back.
Yep. Good to see you back.
And Ozone, I didn't get to say hi earlier, but I just wanted to say hi real quick before we moved on. I wanted to acknowledge that I'm so happy to see y'all here.
Mr. Pruitt is going to be running Geek Squad, says Ozone. That would be a hell's no. Let me tell you, man, my personal tech support stuff, them days long gone. She'll tell you right now.
He'd rather go and wash dishes than to do that again.
Yeah, I'm not.
It's that serious.
I don't want no part of this stuff. Of my computer is giving me an error and it says something click this something. No, them days long gone. I'm sorry. No, I'm not sorry. No, them days are long gone.
Sorry, not sorry. That's where that comes from, right?
No, I'm not sorry at all.
Sorry, not sorry.
We're going to get into some feedback here from, speaking of Ozone Nightmare, he sent in some feedback, but I'm going to pause for a quick 30 seconds or so for an ad break. So y'all stay right there. This is Everyday People Doing Everyday Shit. We'll be right back after this. And we're back, Everyday People Doing Everyday Shit. I am Aunt Pruitt, sitting here on these microphones and talking out into the wonderful world of these internets. Thank y'all for being here. Before the break, we teased that we're going to get into some feedback regarding last week's show, as well as just a little bit of reflection on last week's show. And then we'll close the show out with some of the stuff that I got going on, so on and so forth. So without further ado, I am going to flip my screen over here to play some feedback from Ozone Nightmare, also known as Mr. Joe Esposito, regarding last week's show. So let's see. Can I do the screen share thing? Boom. Should be seeing my screen. And you over there hitting the microphone, because, that makes a noise.
I stopped it as soon as I could figure it out. Damn, give me a chance. I didn't do this shit on purpose.
You do that every week, though. Okay, anyway.
Not on purpose.
Okay, all right. So let's check this out.
Hey there, Mr. Pruitt. I wanted to share one piece of feedback. Only one thing this week. Well, sorry, two things, technically. I'm going to send a link to an Instagram post.
Actually,
I don't know. In any event, I wanted to talk about something that Queen Pruitt said in the last episode. She was talking about, I think it was in the opening. I think it was early on. She was talking about how the fact, that she really wants to do acting, and that, she looks around and sees all these young kids and that they're ahead of her, that they started earlier,
the struggle,
that type of thing. And I understand where that comes from, but there is something I think that she should remember about acting. And this is true in some fields, not all. Some fields, it is better to start young, and there is a huge advantage if you do, but not all.
That's right.
And acting is one of the ones where I think age doesn't actually hurt you at all. Because one thing is, sure, you can start learning the craft of acting early. Absolutely. You can start right away. You can know from a very young age that you want to be an actor. And you can learn the craft, and you can go to classes, and you can, do different theater stuff and get all these different experiences and everything else. But the thing that you're going to lack is life experience. And part of what most really great actors talk about is the ability to draw on the things that happen to them in life, to be able to take those things and incorporate them into a performance. And in that way, starting early is actually detrimental, because if all you're doing is focusing on acting, and that's what you're doing, you are not going to necessarily have some of those actual real life experiences to bring into them. To come later is to be able to tap into things that younger people won't be able to. Now,
yeah, I'm going to stop it there. But that right there.
Thank you. I appreciate that. This is true.
When he brought that up, I was like, man, I appreciate you sending this in, because when we were talking about it, I had something that I wanted to say that was sort of similar to this, but of course you interrupted me as usual when I'm talking. As her head goes down in shame. Go ahead, put it down in shame. But no, I agree with him 100%. And I wanted to bring up the show Good Times. All right. And that's a show that black folks, I don't know a black person that didn't watch Good Times. Do you?
I don't know.
It's okay. Bless your heart. She's got a frog in her throat.
I don't know if I know of a black person that hasn't seen Good Times,
Right. That's what I'm saying. I don't think I know of one.
I mean,
you probably
I just assume every black person has seen Good Times, but you know what? It's probably some that haven't.
But with that said, I can damn near guarantee there's just as many white folks. That show was that popular. That show was that popular. So with that said, let's think about Good Times and the time that it took place and the whole storyline of those folks struggling to survive, as the theme song says, or what have you. I know I just screwed up that quote, but you get it. And think about John Amos. He didn't have the best of times growing up as a kid, but that man, when he walked onto the scene to portray a black man that's married with children, living in the ghetto, living from paycheck to a guest to another paycheck, he absolutely crushed it.
Yeah.
And I can guarantee that he could dig back into some feelings of his childhood.
Yeah.
Heck, even dig back into some feelings of his earlier part of his acting career, because he wasn't making a lot of money.
Right.
So the fact that he could take that life experience and bring it into that show.
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to give Juilliard or whatever acting school that credit? No, that's life, And you being oldish, you've lived through some shit. There's a lot of stuff that folks don't know about me and you, because I damn sure try to keep everything private that needs to be private with our family. Right. But you have lived through some shit.
You too.
Oh, I know I have. Hell yeah, I know I have.
Both of us have.
You have lived through some shit. And I was going to say seasoned, not oldish.
Thank you. I agree. Seasoned. We are seasoned.
She's not a meal, dude. She's seasoned.
Seasoned.
No, that's pretty funny though. Yeah, but you've lived through some stuff, and I know that you could take those experiences at some point in time, if the script allows for it, and be able to reflect on that and bring it into the lines.
Maybe that's why all those serious roles are so easy.
Exactly.
That sucks.
Exactly. No, but the thing is, I don't think it sucks, because you're really good at it.
I want to be funny. I showed you what we had to do in class, that little exercise, and it had to be comedic.
Yeah.
And we're going to have to do more comedic things.
Yeah.
And I don't know. And I'm like, where am I going to find it? This is a test right here, for real. Okay, so are you funny? Come up with comedic scenes. I don't know if I landed it. I don't know. I have no idea.
Okay, but so let me say this. But
serious stuff. Sorry, I'm not cutting you off. I wasn't finished talking. I wasn't finished.
Go ahead.
Not turning you off. Cutting you off.
Go ahead.
What
Turn
I'm
your mic
saying
to your mouth,
is,
please.
It's there. I hear myself really.
There you go. Thank you. You got
What I was gonna say is, but at the same time, that's probably why I was told that I would play serious roles easily, because I have lived a whole lot of serious things, so I can bring all of those emotions to the scene.
Maybe so.
That's it.
Maybe so.
Now I'm done.
So, regarding the skit or sketch that you showed me last night, and again, it had to be comedic, but I don't think you said that it had to be silent.
Yeah, it had to be silent too.
So that was a stipulation of it. It had to be comedic, and it had to be silent, no audio. So everybody is miming essentially, and I thought it was good. I thought you did a good job. I still think you're better as Leonata. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I still think you're better as Sandy Cheeks. You know, neither of those roles were comedic, and you did a damn good job with this sketch. And it had to be silent, and you're miming it out. You sold the message of the sketch.
That's what we're trying to do. Is right there.
You clearly
that's
sold
all I needed.
The message of the sketch, and I applaud for that. But if someone were to ask me which version would I rather have, I'm going to, believe it or not, the Shakespeare.
Yeah, you could say serious, not Shakespeare. Let's say more serious, because Shakespeare is hard as hell.
No, but again, the Shakespeare one moved me. You know what I'm saying?
And you didn't even know what I was saying.
It moved me.
That is what is funny, is because I'm doing all of this work, like reading these plays, but I'm reading it with Spark Notes so that I know what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. That's the only way I got through that. And I look back at it, and those words weren't changed around. We were doing it in that verbiage. I can't think of it right now.
I understand the iambic pentameter and all of the structure of Shakespeare and how they speak. I get that. What I'm saying is, when I watched that, it was moving to me. And the fact of you were passionately going through those lines as if you were the person. Mm-hmm. You immersed me and everybody else in that damn auditorium. Because I'm telling you, freaking pin dropped when a tear rolled down your eyes. You know, everybody was like, oh shit. Mm-hmm. You know, it was good.
Well, thank you.
This comedy sketch you just did, it was good too, but it didn't touch what you've done in these last two performances, because again, in my opinion, those last two performances are more along
who I am,
your strength,
and that's what I found out that too in our little test that we've done. Mm-hmm. It is a strength. Mm-hmm. So I'm a mother that already brings strength.
Yeah.
I'm a mother of sons. That's a different level.
That's a whole different one. Yep.
You know, so yeah. But yeah, we can move on. You don't have to keep, but thank you. I appreciate that. That makes me feel really nice. And I appreciate you, Ozone.
Man. Okay. So the next thing about last week's show, we talked about the two of us breaking into the creative world of acting and modeling simultaneously, folks. Had this one project from a neighbor of ours that was he was running a company, and I didn't say what. And you do that every week, huh? Yep.
It's happening because you spoke it. If you hadn't spoken it like that, it wouldn't have keep happening.
No, I do the recordings every week, so I know what the hell's on this thing.
It's because you speak it. You know it's going to happen, so you already put it out there.
Anyway, I alluded to us doing a commercial for our neighbor that had a business, and they were trying to promote the business. We gave all the details about the guy, but there was still a lot to be discovered. So I spent a lot of time since last Friday.
Oh.
Last Friday digging through this stuff. And I told you I was going to go to archive.org, because archive.org's got all of the previous internet stuff, damn near everything. And I say damn near because you couldn't find this one. But I believe, but the thing is, I found the website, but the website's down. It's down, you know, but the address is still legit, but it's down. So I went to archive.org and it didn't get me anywhere. So I ended up going through Google, going through DuckDuckGo, going through Bing, and Bing was the one, Bing.com. Because I remember the guy's name. I didn't remember exactly how to spell this name, which is another problem with archive.org. You needed proper spelling.
Oh, wow.
So I couldn't remember how to spell this name, but I knew how to somewhat say it because the guy was from Belgium. Okay. So
yes,
he was from Belgium. And
I told you it wasn't easy to say.
And it's not easy to say. So of course it's not going to be easy to spell.
Or remember.
Well, I remember it.
You remembered his name?
I remember his name. So I started typing in what I thought it was phonetically, knowing it's clearly misspelled, and Bing got me. Bing found him. And so I found his Instagram, I found his LinkedIn, and verified it on LinkedIn because I also remembered he owned another company there in town, a textiles company. Do you remember that? So I kept cross-checking stuff, and let me see. I'll just show y'all what I found of this dude. So I'm just going to say one word. Tamarin. Do you remember that word? Tamarin?
I do remember it.
Because tamarin is how it all started, actually. That word ring a bell at all?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know what it is, but I feel like I've heard that word before.
But that's actually what started it all, is tamarin. Okay. And I'm going to show you tamarin. But let me give you another word. Whim. W-I-M.
Yes, I remember now.
What's that?
That's his name.
That's his name. Whim. That's his name.
That's his name.
So let me switch screens here.
Where's Tamarin in?
I'm going to show you.
Come on.
So there, switching screens. Oh, we don't need Premiere anymore. There we go. So I found the guy. All right. And again, archive.org. This is it. It's nothing pretty, but man, it'll find a lot of stuff. It just didn't find this guy. So this man's name is Wim. They left out the D-E. Debadegrin.
Yeah, I would never remember that.
I remember that.
But I see his face
but
now, and I'm like,
you see his face now, right? But what I was telling you was tamarin is what started it all. This right here, we were at his house after whatever run-in we had with the damn dogs and the because we ended up at his house one day, and he brought us some tamarin.
Breakfast, sweetie.
Do you
Tired
remember
of the same old? Move over, peanut butter. There's a new spread in town. Tamarin sandwich spread. Simply delicious.
Does that ring a bell? You don't remember that?
Not so much.
Well, so what it was is he brought this jar of tamarin out, and he gave us like these little cookies, and he put the tamarin on these little cookies, and he's like, "Y'all like some biscuits?" Because again, European guy, y'all like some biscuits? And I'm like, sure. And he brought this jar of tamarin out, and he put the spread on, and he handed it to us, and we both bit into it, and like, holy crap, this is good. But it's like having one of those hazelnut spreads or something.
Okay.
So he's like, yeah, this is one of my companies in Belgium.
Okay.
We were like, wait a minute, what now? One of your other companies? Damn, dude, how many you got? Yeah, he had a few companies.
Yeah, he did.
So
now that I remember, it's coming back to me.
So he was talking about tamarin and talking about bringing it to the U.S. because it wasn't in the U.S. at the time. Now, this video came out. This is when it actually got introduced to the U.S.
Wow.
And with that said, he was like, hey, I'm working on another project.
Yes,
Can y'all help me bring this to the U.S.? And we were like, what is it? And he says, it's chocolate. And we was like, hell yeah.
Yeah, I remember now. But maybe I didn't even know all the details. Like, I'm glad you were there to know it because I just heard chocolate commercial, you know.
That sounds about right. But yeah, he brought us in for chocolate, and he brought in his partner, flew his partner in from Belgium for that project too. Okay. And then I want to say his brother was running the camera. Okay. And so we're like, okay, what is your chocolate called? And he says, well, it's called Liquidor.
Yes.
And I said, do what now? And he says,
That's why I can't remember that shit. This is not in English.
And he says, well, some people are going to make fun and says it sounds like lick her there. And it's no. See, that's why I remembered it, because of the little, anagram. No, it's not anagram, but you get idiom. And he said it's liquidor. So I'm trying to look this shit up.
Liquidor.
And I was like, okay, it's liquidor. And I'm trying to look it up, and I couldn't spell it for shit. Okay. But again, Bing set me up to find this guy. Where'd it go?
Hey, John. Welcome in. You coming in at the right time, bro.
Oh, it's
gone.
Oh, verify I'm a human. That's what it is. It's want me to make sure I am.
I was like, it's gone. It's gone.
I just verified I'm a human. Well, anyway, this page right here, bizpedia.com, led me to him, and it led me to all of his different businesses that he had there.
And Liquidor was there?
And Liquidor was on there. And I was like, that's it. So I figured out how to spell it. And then to YouTube we go.
Welcome to Le Coeur d'Or, the Golden Heart. Personalized Belgian chocolates, introducing the next generation of personalized gifts. Please join us for a brief presentation of our products.
I don't know why that thing was over your face. So this is an office setting, and it looks like two executives, and the man hands the female executive a box
Our
of
delicious
chocolates.
personalized chocolates come in beautiful gift boxes, the ultimate token of customer appreciation.
Oh, she was a customer. Okay. Then there's this.
Oh my God!
Then there's a restaurant scene.
Oh my
Le Coeur d'Or chocolates can be your subtle signature for customers at the end of a wonderful
Oh
dinner.
man. Okay. And this ad continues. And the ad continues, but yeah. So.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Yeah, I saw that and I could not stop laughing. It really warmed my heart because it's man.
It's still being
That is about
out there
it's still out there on his brother's channel. And that was from about 15 to it's anywhere between 15 17 years ago. That video, that ad. And oh man. John says, wow. Claire says, there they go. What a moment. And it made my day, says John. Yeah, I got to tell y'all, it made my day. And
I did not. Good job, Aunt. I did not think you was going to be able to find that ish. I'm not joking. Because it's, I mean, look at, because of all of that stuff, proper pronunciation of the name and how to spell the name right and what his name was and what the name of the chocolate was, all of that. I just knew I didn't remember because all of those words were longer than 15 letters. So I'm not going to remember them. I forgot all about that except for his name, Wim. I should have remembered that.
His name was Wim.
On a whim.
And yeah, that that shit there. It
Y'all so young.
it made my day.
Young.
So
we were young, but all the kids were born at that time, but we were still young.
yeah, we were young. We were young. Now, I want to break this down because it made me laugh. Let me see. If
Oh my goodness gracious! I am blown away.
I'm going to scrub back here. But again, the scene that we shot was a couple in. Oh, I didn't mean to hit crickets there.
Oh no! Take it
It
out.
ain't crickets. No, just stop.
Will it?
There. I didn't mean to hit crickets. Sorry. But the scene was for a couple to be out at dinner and have the desserts brought to them as chocolates. Okay. And so again, we were in this restaurant there in Gastonia on, I believe it's Hudson. Can't remember the name of it, but it's right next to where the Publix is now. Publix wasn't there before. But anyway. So
what was the name of the restaurant?
I can't remember the name of the restaurant. I remember it having an Asian fusion.
It was.
vibe.
I'm gonna have to find out.
I'll have to look it up too. But so we're in there, and this thing was, they set it up beautifully. If you look at this thing, you can see the lighting is great. I mean, the backlight's here and
I can't see it.
oh, I didn't share the screen. There we go. So you got the backlight there. I mean, it's absolutely beautifully done. But
Oh my God.
let's just
Oh, I remember her. She
scroll
was the
back.
owner, one of them.
Yeah, she was that lady. But see, the resolution is, it was.
See, to me, the
It wasn't
resolution
4K.
came out much better than I thought it would.
Yeah, it wasn't 4K, so it's not as what we're used to seeing. But that's the two of us sitting there having this faux dinner, and then they were supposed to bring out chocolates as part of the dessert. And so it was really easy for us, but it spent a lot of time as a director photographer just going around getting multiple different shots, multiple different looks. You see all the panning and stuff like that. But
Now I know, looking back.
But we didn't move. We just sat there the whole time, sipped on some wine on command when we were told to. Look at who is that right there?
Oh my goodness gracious.
Who
This
is
is
that right there?
unbelievable.
Who is that right there? So I
Unbelievable.
mean, you know how I've told you about Queen Charlotte in that show and my thoughts on it? You gonna tell me that right there is not Queen Charlotte on Netflix?
That's not.
No,
but
that's
I do.
shit.
Oh my gosh. That young face.
That shit right there, man. Oh, keep playing. I'm gonna mute it a little bit there. But
Come here.
There's one more thing I wanted to pause on. Let's see.
Yeah.
Listen at it.
Right here. Look at that.
Look at that young face. Look at it. And no, that
Hold
was
on.
that model face.
Look at that. Who's that dude?
Jacob.
First, there's that. There's that. So
I didn't want to say
I was
it,
going to
but
see
that's
if you
because
would
that's
go
kind of
there.
creepy. But oh
'Cause
my God.
That is Jacob. But then,
Look at you. Oh,
you know what? I got
that's
to
that
tell you.
face. That's that face.
I gotta tell you.
Because I told you he used to look at me like Edward look at Bella. That's that look right there.
I got to tell you. Where them eyebrows go? I've said for years.
You miss them, don't you?
I've said for years to my family that, yeah, my hair's falling out on my head or whatever, but they also started falling out on my eyebrows. My eyebrows just started thinning out. But that right there, I remember having those eyebrows. That was part of my look.
Yes,
that
because
was-
you didn't have hair on your head, so that was your eyebrows.
The whole modeling thing, I was bald headed, but I had
God.
strong features. I had the jaw and eyes and all of that worked together in that previous version of my life as a model.
How you doing?
You
You
but,
want to go out tonight?
yeah, those
I'm looking
eyebrows.
at that dude
them
like
joints
that.
long gone, man. But yeah, that's
Look at
now.
that. Look at
that's
you.
Jacob now.
Look at how you're looking at me eating that chocolate. That's pretty intense.
And you the same as well.
Yeah. It's the same thing. Wow. This is crazy.
Oh, gosh.
We used to love each other.
Yeah, we used to.
Le Coeur d'Or chocolate.
Or was it the chocolate?
Le Coeur d'Or.
Were we in love with the chocolate?
That says Luigi's Restaurant. Luigi's
it?
Restaurant. I don't
It was
think it was
not
called.
Luigi's.
It was called something else.
It was not Luigi's. No.
Interesting.
But it did start with an L, didn't it?
I don't.
We'll find out.
It's
probably still there.
I'm gonna have to.
Was it still there? I don't know.
No, I think it changed names, possibly.
Oh man, that was something else. Good job.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, thank you for that.
Shout
and
out,
Pruitt.
Shout out to Ozone Nightmare with the $10 super chat.
Thank you, Ozone.
There were some serious adult theme undertones when you were eating those chocolates. Just calling it how I see it.
That's funny.
Oh gosh.
We were young.
Oh man. And another super chat just coming in from Clarence Brown for $4.99. Thank you, my man.
Thank you
for your internet sleuthing. Yeah, I spent some time digging through that stuff, man. Show
That's
title,
what's up.
We used to love each other. Yeah.
Where the hell is Cinder Fractal? She's good at naming them, but that's it. You are so right.
We used to
love each other. Chocolates. This is a perfect time because you got, Valentine's Day on Friday.
Yeah.
So this is the perfect time for those chocolates.
She's got tears. You've been laughing so hard you cried.
Because I was not prepared for that.
Oh man. That makes me feel great because I purposely held out.
Yes,
on
you
my
did.
information. I was like, man, this is so good. I was surprised at what I saw.
I am too.
Because it's been, over a decade.
Yes.
It's just
but I guess the chocolates are still being made. I mean,
no. It's no more. That company's no more. Yeah, but it
was good chocolate.
It was
I'll
good
tell
chocolate.
You that.
It was good chocolate. Man.
I wish I had some right now. Man, that was awesome. That was thank y'all. Wow.
All right.
Anthony.
I'm gonna pause for one more break because I'm gonna have to shift gears now because there's still some more to tell about this, as well as close out the show with some of the stuff that I did recently that I have to share with you all listening to the show and watching the show because it was so freaking moving. So stay right there. This is Everyday People Doing Everyday Shit. We'll be right back after this. And we're back. I am Aunt Pruitt, hanging out here. Everyday people doing everyday shit. Appreciate y'all checking us out on whatever platform you enjoy us on. And by the way, feel free to join the extended family in Patreon. Yes, we have a Patreon community. Just go to patreon.com/Aunt Pruitt and help support the show. You can join for free if you want, or you can join for one of our economically conscious tiers or what have you, or just contribute whatever you'd like to contribute. Either way, we appreciate the support. That's where I am social. I don't do much replies and stuff on other social media channels because I'm not trying to let these oligarchs continue to get rich off of my social media account engagement. I'm not getting shit out of that. So damn that. Come over there, Patreon, hang out with us. We talk and hang out pretty regularly over there throughout the week. So patreon.com/Aunt Pruitt. Okay, so shifting gears, and I'm literally going to grind this to a halt.
Uh-oh.
Just so you know. So, I found a lot on Whim. Okay. With all of the different companies, so I don't know if you remember, the guy was struggling with stuff when we met him because he had the son, but there was some serious battles between him and his ex, like serious battles between him and his ex.
That makes sense.
And he was really, really stressed out about that stuff, like really stressed out about that stuff. Well, apparently all of that stuff did somewhat get resolved, and he was finally able to move on with his life, and get some peace. And I'm glad to hear that because I saw that he was able to get into riding bikes and mountain biking and stuff like that, just being out and about and being around people. Because remember, he was a bit of a introvert. You know, he didn't necessarily, he invited people over and that kind of thing.
Barrier was one thing.
He was a bit of an introvert, but apparently that changed and things went on, and he started to do all right. Unfortunately, 2022, he passed away from cancer. And I remember, like, the first thing, I'm just doing a search now.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And it's the very first thing that comes up. April 15th, 2022 is when he passed away. And they didn't say much there on that obituary page, but that made me dig more. And I found a Google group of people that he hung out with, riding the bikes and stuff.
Wow.
And they talked about he had cancer and had been battling for a long time.
Wow.
But he finally did get peace according to the way that thread was reading. So he was at peace. But
wow.
That was
wow.
Yeah. So shout out to you, Wim. It was nice to meet you umpteen years ago, and it was nice to be able to share these funny stories. And I still remember the look on your face of you running into the backyard.
Yeah, because we shared a backyard.
Yeah.
If you really look back into the house, it was the suburbs.
Yep.
But our backyard was just a field.
Yep.
And
everybody shared the backyard.
Everybody shared a backyard.
Yeah. And I remember you running into the backyard one day because your crazy ass Jack Russell come running up to me.
You gonna say it's my Jack Russell?
No, his.
Oh yeah,
it was his. He had a Jack Russell.
Yes,
we had Jacks at the time.
Yes,
Chihuahua, but he had the Jack Russell. But that dog come running into the backyard, just hauling
wide open,
and he got up to me. I'm sitting on the porch on the little patio, just having a beer or whatever. I'm sitting on the patio, and that dog just darted towards me, and then he just. And he hit the brakes quick.
Yes.
Like, oh shit.
Who is this?
And so I just looked at him. The dog didn't move. When I see him in the background running towards the dog.
Yeah.
You know, just
it was more than one, wasn't it?
He had a pig too. He had a little pot.
So you telling me that it was a dog and a pig?
One dog and a pig.
Why am I seeing two dogs?
And,
I have a feeling, but that's.
And he ran over there. And this was my very first encounter with him. So here's this little short, tiny Belgian white guy running towards his short, tiny white dog towards this average sized black bald dude in the backyard, in his backyard. So he was a little nervous.
Yeah.
So he was a little nervous. He runs over there and he bends down to grab the dog and he picks the dog up. He's picking the dog up and it looked like you trying to pick up Biscuit. When Biscuit's
because he was a little guy. He wasn't big.
He wasn't big. So the dog's just flailing and just whatever. And he's apologizing profusely to me, and I'm like, whatever, dude.
It's fine.
It's fine. But yeah, Wim, just a tip of the hat to you.
Wow.
Rest peacefully to you, my man.
That's crazy. He's passed away. And that was in when?
That was 2022.
2022. And you were still able to find that commercial.
Yeah.
From what year was it? Do we know?
I can look. Let's see.
What year? I'm curious. I'm so curious to see.
Let's pause that there. It looked like Lee Janine has popped up in here. This is from 14 years ago, according to YouTube.
Hey, Lee Janine. Hey.
October 22nd, 2010. October 22nd, 2010.
October 22nd, 2010.
Yeah.
We did that commercial. Yes, sir. I knew the kids had been
The kids
born.
were here, but you know.
Jacob was 5.
Yep.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yep. But yeah,
that's
shout out to him.
Crazy.
And
oh my God.
This
I
next
didn't think you was
I will just before anybody asks, I am going to put a link to the video in the show notes. So you will have access to see that video, that commercial we did, our very first commercial. Miss Phyllis is in here too. Hey, Miss Phyllis.
Hey, Miss Phyllis. Hey.
It's really good to see y'all in here. Yeah, we just took a trip down memory lane and just found some really, really fun stuff. And I'm glad that I spent that time.
Unbelievable. I am too.
With that said, dear, I want to do a bit of a public service announcement. Some stuff is personal. Some stuff is public records. Okay. If I want to look up businesses, you can look up a lot of stuff about businesses because it's public record. Mm-hmm. But the other stuff I found, it's because it was just out there. Mm-hmm. There was no reason for me to find that Google group with those conversations
about him and his
with
passing.
All of those different people. And as I'm doing that, I'm thinking, this is not good, but it's out there.
It's out there.
My PSA to all of you listening to this show, please be careful with your shit online.
Nothing is effing private. You found that shit.
Yes. Please be careful with your stuff online because I've been compromised twice in my life.
Oh my gosh.
And I do everything I can to prevent that. And I still have been compromised twice in my life. It's been a long time, but I still have been compromised twice. But I've been attacked since then and caught it, because people are trying for whatever reason. I don't know why I'm a target. It ain't like I'm rich, but people, these weirdos out there, they do try. And so I've been on record about how I yell at all of you in my family about what we put out there on the internet, on social media. I'm private. I don't want to know your birthdays. I don't want you celebrating my birthday. Nope. Because that's a question that comes up every single time online when you can't remember a password or your mother's maiden name. My birthday is not out there. Years ago, we had a sponsor at Pruitt called Delete Me. And I ended up buying the service for us. And it's doing a damn good job. We still have it. Mm-hmm. And it's, when you go out there and search for me, it's usually my website associated.
Well, I don't know what the hell is
when
doing
I search
for me.
for you,
but anyway,
it's doing the same thing.
Oh.
Because it's trying to wipe shit out.
I'm just putting some extra time out here so you can go back and edit if I've been loose-lipped.
No, you've been good.
I do know so much and then watching Lioness the other day, and I was just like,
yeah. Tell us what happened in that episode.
Big time.
What happened? Tell us.
What did he say? He was like, they had the cartel president or whatever in handcuffs, and he was like, what's the kid's birthday? What's your youngest birthday? And he was like, what do you need to know that for? He was like, it's common that they are going to use the youngest birthday or the oldest birthday in their passwords. Yeah. And I was like, oh, what?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And I mean,
why isn't that though?
Because it's easy. It's easy to remember. Nobody wants to remember passwords. My family freaking pitched a fit about me bringing in a password manager. Y'all did not like me. No,
I just didn't know it was good. I
Because
didn't
it
know.
was work to start. It was a lot of work to start.
It was a lot of work, but it's fine now, and
now
I'm glad
it's like
you did.
Normal.
But at the same time, too, I was going to say something. I can't remember. Go ahead.
It's all right. But anyway, that is my PSA, folks. If you're going to do stuff online, try to lock it down as much as you can and just be careful with what you share. You're never going to see me put in happy birthdays out there to anybody.
That's what I was going to say.
I've even had to message my mom, hey, take that down, for wishing me a happy birthday. Take that down. Not happening.
Well, I don't have my correct birthday out there. So
my
I get
birthday-
happy birthdays on not my birthday,
Same.
which is cool. Like I have a Facebook full of happy birthdays now. I was like, that was not my birthday, but it's okay.
Yep. I've done the same thing, and I always laugh because I'm like, okay, that's a name to delete because you're not a true friend. You should know my birthday. My true friends know my birthday.
Yeah, the true
Hi,
ones know your
Cindy.
birthday. Like that is not your birthday.
Love you, Cindy, because I know Cindy knows my birthday.
Yeah.
Hi, Tanya. Love you because I know Tanya knows my real birthday.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. We know your birthday.
So
The real
anyway,
people that know my birthday, but not these. It's really funny. It's like,
John says, set up MFA anywhere you can. Freeze your credit accounts. Yes, MFA is multi-factor authentication. That is also where you use an app on your phone and it puts a code on there every time you go to log in, and it makes you put that code in with your password. Not where they send you a text message. That is a version of multi-factor authentication, but that is the worst.
well,
No,
I mean,
no.
where are we going to get it from? Because that's mine.
No, there's an app, and I've tried to show that to you. I'll show it to you again. But there is an app that you can use, but not all services use that type of token. Banks, for whatever reason, still don't do that. They still want to send a text, and that is the worst way to do it, the least secure. But that's for another day. Yep, Arthi. Good man, John Helms. Good man. All right. Lastly, I want to tell y'all what's been going on with me. A couple updates. So last week, I mentioned in Patreon, I had meetings, and I got to hurry up. So I'm running out of time. Got to go shoot this game. I had meetings trying to get stuff squared away as far as some gigs and contracts, if you will. And first off, the fine folks at ZDNet ZDNet.com has offered me more work to do. I'll be doing more video production stuff for them, a lot of behind the scenes stuff at some point. Was supposed to start that today, but it didn't happen. It didn't happen, but I want to try to help them out with their video presence online and potentially open the door for doing some other things, even if it comes down to hosting a brand new show, if you will, for ZDNet. But that's down the road. But right now, I'm just trying to get my foot in the door because, I'm like, hey, you want to give me a full-time job? And most people are like, no, we can't do full-time work. Most businesses are like that because there's a reason for that.
Yeah.
But I got a contract with them, and we're just going to work through that and go from there. Then also, I got another contract, had another meeting. This right here, I had to correct it.
What?
I corrected it in his face though.
Oh, wow.
But this is with the local paper, one of the local papers here, their weekly paper, and it's called the Community Voice, and it only comes out once a week, and it's free. And I know the photographer there because he's been at a couple of games that I've been shooting for Max Preps. And I was like, dude, if you need a backup, y'all just, let me know. And about 2 weeks ago, he did need a backup. And it's like, damn, I should have let you know, that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And he did let the guy know, the owner of the paper know. And the owner was like, I know that name. And he says, I've seen it before. And my friend said, yeah, because he has put 2 pictures in the paper. I gave them 2 pictures over the last 6 years we've been here. I just gave them to him for free because Robert didn't have one. Mm-hmm. I was like, yeah, just use it, whatever. And then he's like, no, not that. And then Robert was like, well, he's Jacob Pruitt's dad. Oh. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah,
it always comes back to that.
It always comes back
Jake
to the
Pruitt's
hard
dad.
head.
Jake Pruitt's mom.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
A little turd. But yeah, I signed a contract with him to do just freelance stuff. Just basically, hey, can you go over here and take a picture of this because the reporter's going to write this. Boom, got it. Knock it out. It ain't a lot of money, but it's just more body of work for me to put in there because, again, I'm still trying to get on with my homie up there in Santa Clara, or down there in Santa Clara on that football field. Anyway, so that's that.
You'll get there, honey. You're gonna get there, honey. If that's where you want to be,
I
didn't know that's what you wanted.
Well, I mean, I would love to shoot.
Out there what you want, so I can say.
I would love to shoot there. I would love to shoot Berkeley. I would love to shoot Sac State. I would love to shoot. I just like shooting sports photography. Yeah, especially football, because
it's your heart.
You know, that changed my life.
Oh, I already know.
You know, so. Yeah, if I could shoot any of that stuff, man. But that's that. And so last Friday, I had my first assignment with Community Voice. And if I could pull it up on the screen here, they said, hey, we got a story of the reporter. A reporter is wanting to go over and show that this dog is being presented to this kid. And I was like, okay. I didn't think twice about it. I was like, okay, sure, I'll be there. What time? And I show up over there. And I get there early, way early, because they started a little bit late. And then the reporter, she gets there later than me, just walks up to me, and it started out rough. Because she walks up, she recognized me immediately. Aunt, how long you been here? I said, yeah, I've been here a little while. She's like, you should be taking pictures, blah, blah, blah. And I just looked at her. Then she says, I'm not going to tell you how you do your job. You know, so we fixed that dynamic here. Yeah. And I said, yeah, I got it. I've shot events before. I know what I'm doing. I got you. It'll be easy for you to put something in your article that I shot. You know, I assured her of that. So the event was run by the folks at K9.org. And for those that don't know, K9.org, they do service dogs for people, and it's free. So they have people from all walks of life that go through all of these months and months and months of training, extensive training. The dogs go through extensive training. The people and the dogs together go through extensive training, and then they graduate to be able to go together. So it's K9.org if you guys want to go to that website and donate a couple bucks, because this stuff is straight up changing people's lives. So I'm navigating through this event, and all these people are flooding in here, and I'm looking for the kid that's the subject of the story of the reporter, and I finally find him. And he's really, really shy. I see him in the crowd with his parents, and he's really, really shy. And I'm just trying to see if I can figure out a shot and catch him looking around, that kind of thing. Nothing. So I said, I'll just wait till he has to get up on the stage and get his dog, and so on and so forth. So they start doing the dog giveaway, not giveaway, but giving the dogs to their new owners, if you will. They tell stories about the people. They tell stories about the dogs. And they have the dogs on one side of the stage and the people on another side of the stage. And then they say, meet your new dog, or welcome to so-and-so, whatever. And they come together and they all, hug and kiss or whatever. And then they go sit down. But there are some people, when you hear their stories, these are people that are young, first grade, second grade. This kid was in the second grade, the story. Young, old, middle age. There's people with disabilities, they're in wheelchairs. There's people with debilitating mental disabilities. It was something. Mm-hmm. And I remember just trying to shoot this and listening to these people and their testimonies, and it was tough. Mm-hmm. I mean, it was so freaking moving. Mm-hmm. It was really tough. And I'm sitting here thinking, damn, I'm glad I got a handkerchief in my pocket. It was really tough. And then my kid goes up. It's not my kid, but the subject, he goes up on the stage, and his name was Jet. Kid's in the second grade. I'm not sure exactly what was going on with him and why he was there, but I know it looks like he had some type of cochlear implant, and he had a adult handler, if you will. It wasn't his parents on the stage with him. It was another adult taking care of him. And every time they started talking about him, he sort of turned his back to the crowd, like shy. that kind of thing. And so I'm down there, I'm in front of the stage, just turn around, come on, turn around, you know. And I can't yell at him to turn around,
Of
kid.
course not. No.
So I'm just waiting on him and listening to the announcer talk about him. And he's in the 2nd grade. And then they started talking about the dog. And as soon as he started talking about the dog, the kid turns around.
Oh, wow.
He turns around and he starts looking, you know. And so I'm still trying to snap, but he's busy. He's like, where's the dog?
Where's the dog?
Where's the dog? You know. And they get through it and he's like, and here's his dog. And the dogs, again, these are trained service dogs. They don't just dart like a biscuit.
And bark at other dogs like just crazy.
No. These are trained dogs. But when you looked at that dog on the stage, you saw that connection. That dog's like, that's my little boy Jet. His name was Jet. That dog, you could see it. And Jet gets off of his adult, you know, and he's just, his arms is out. And they meet and he's just hugging this dog and this dog's just all over him. And it just, man, I was like, holy shit, this is crazy. And then on top of that, his whole 2nd grade class was there to support him. They crowded the back end of this arena and they just roaring. I mean, you think it was at a ball game. And I look back and they pulled up this big ass sign that said congratulations or something. Yes, congratulations to him. So I'm snapping a picture of the sign and I could just see my lens started to get blurry. My lens.
You try to take
My
pictures.
lens getting blurry and I'm like, I can't see shit.
It's okay.
Oh, gosh. But
That's heavy when you bring in
the stories, dear. Listen, there was this one lady there. She talks about how, you know, she's in the home with other family members, but she just wants to feel useful and not as like a burden to the rest of the family. So she says, all right, I want to do laundry for everybody, but it's still hard for her in a wheelchair. And she says, I do 12 loads of laundry a week, you know, because this is all she got. But it was still difficult. And they've trained the dog for when she pulls the clothes out of the washing machine or out of the dryer and puts them into the baskets onto the floor, the daggum dog pushes the baskets to where it needs to be in the living room so she can pull them out and start folding.
That's what's up.
And putting them away.
Oh, wow.
There was a lady that couldn't turn the lights on in her house. The dog can do that for her now. You know,
Do they have cats that do it?
No, these are all dogs, not no punk ass cats.
I'm just saying. I'm just wondering if that could be done with the cats doing that.
And just hearing those stories, and there was a I believe it was Vietnam vet. He was agoraphobic, I believe. He didn't like going outside. But he was saying it's nice to be able to now go outside with comfort and see this land and this country that I fought to protect. You know,
because he got his dog.
Yeah, because he's got his dog now, but he couldn't do it before with PTSD. You know, but now he's able to go out and see the world and stuff like that. I mean, people's lives were changed instantly. You know, and it had nothing to do with hitting the Powerball or nothing like that, you know, and it just made me think, you know, and I'm sure I'm guilty of it. We take stuff for granted.
Yeah.
You know, I try not to.
But that's really deep part of it, you know, just going
granted.
outside by myself.
Yeah.
There's some people that can't do that because it's really difficult. But I do see it at school. So I can't say that. I see it.
There was a young man there that he was autistic, and he had to speak through a machine. He spoke through a machine. He type it up, and it puts it up to the mic, and it speaks for him. But to see his reaction when he got with his dog, I mean, just
glasses fogged up again.
A sound did come out of his mouth. I don't know exactly. I mean, It wasn't coherent. But a sound came out of his mouth when he and that dog got together.
Oh, wow.
You know, and that by far, if it's not the hardest, it was one of the hardest things I had to shoot in my photographic career.
Wow.
That shit. And I remember the
because I'm like, can you bring home a puppy?
And I'm like,
and
no,
it's not. We ain't on that level
no,
over here. This is not what this is about.
This is changing people's lives, man. And I remember seeing the market in person because I had to excuse myself. At one point, I had to excuse myself. I went out into the lobby area and I went over into a corner, tried to get away, and I didn't want to make a scene or nothing like that. And before I saw the market in person. So I'm sitting there on this chair and just trying to get myself together. And something hits me on my leg and on my hand, on my left leg and on my left hand, like right here on my fingers. And it was a dog's nose. And it was a dog's nose, and the dog was attached to a lady in a wheelchair. She looks at me and she puts a little grin on her face and she says, "She made me come over here." The dog was pulling her wheelchair to come to me because the dog saw this dude is struggling with something right now. And the dog just kept doing like what Kylo used to do with putting his head up like, hey, you were petting me, but then you stop. No, keep petting.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes. Oh.
And that, shit. But yeah, that right there. And I was like, man, this is something else. And the lady, she was very kind, and I appreciate her dog just thinking of little old me. Didn't know me from Adam, but the dog was working.
Real.
The dog just doing what
his job
she was trained to do.
Wow.
You know, and
unbelievable.
So I go back in to finish shooting this, and I run into the marketing person at the back, and she's like, I told you this was heavy. And I said, yeah. and she says, "You're done?" I said, "No." She says, "You gotta keep working through this?" I said, "Yeah, I know. This we're gonna push through," and I did. But it is, that was a difficult shoot, man, because it's just so heavy on the heart. And folks, man, with that said, thank y'all. I, for sure, do not take any of you listening and watching and streaming and sharing this show out for granted, man. I appreciate the little things in my life. This lady over here, she appreciates the little things, and she is super grateful.
I'm so grateful, and I don't take any of it for granted that you're here and listening and laughing and commenting and engaging and supporting and, commenting and all of it, everything.
Yes. This is
just
real.
Pushing all of it. Thank y'all.
Yeah, thank y'all for being here each and every week. We're going to get on up out of here. I got to go shoot a basketball game.
I want a hamburger.
But I wanted to make sure I shared that story, because it just, and I'm grateful for the paper, having me on a contract. And I'm grateful that God presented that for me to experience and open my eyes a little more. I mean, I'm a fairly open-minded cat, but I clearly needed to see that at that time. And I am super, super grateful, man. All right, folks. Thanks again. Like, share, subscribe on all the things that you use on your teleo phones there. Even if you want to do word of mouth, say, hey, Aunt Pruitt and Phoebe Pruitt, they on these here mics each and every week. Check them out, auntpruitt.com/podcast. You can also tell them to come check out the extended family and the Patreon community, patreon.com/Aunt Pruitt. We will see you all next week. And as usual, be sure to do something good for yourself. And again, try to do something good for someone else too. Even if it's just listening for 5 minutes to someone talk about whatever it is they want to talk about. It doesn't always have to involve money. Okay. Do something good for yourself. Do something good for someone else. And know that it is okay to show yourself some grace and love you some you. We're going to see y'all later. Take care.